You have returned to me. Your absence was sorely felt.
You don't appear to be in top form. Are house intrigues keeping you from finding proper sleep?
No, nothing to bring me nightmares as of yet. I'm blaming it on the change of diet. Now, tell me what adventures you've been up to. If you only knew how bored I grow behind these walls.
Any news of your parents?
No. With the time it takes to travel to the continent, it's not surprising. But I don't miss them. My father's next letter will certainly be full of his usual disdain. As for my mother, you know her. She's probably too busy planning her next assassination to have noticed my absence.
Any news of your parents?
No, she's...
We were not able, alas, to stop the clash between the forces of the Alliance and Siora's clan. We arrived at the village and battlefield too late. The Queen fell.
I'm extremely sorry for your loss, Princess.
Thank you. My sister survived, fortunately, and we are recovering from this tragedy together. But our clan was extremely weakened by this battle and by recent events.
We shall keep a close eye on the Bridge Alliance and their undertakings. Rest assured.
You should know that the battle took place in the middle of ancient ruins. The ruins were quite strange. We discovered a fresco that I am certain was crafted by continental hands.
Really? And how ancient are these ruins? Could they date back to the first landings of the Bridge Alliance?
They date much farther back than their arrival would explain. My mother and my grandmother have always known them.
Siora told me of a legend that spoke of them. About a people from the sea that were vanquished there.
Do you think it was the Nauts?
It is not our custom to found a landlocked settlement. We have our islands, and it is enough for us.
If they are ancient, perhaps your people once practiced older customs. This story is troubling, but it reminds me of something that I once read in the reports of Lady Morange. You should go and find her. Perhaps she could tell us more about them.
Very well.
Anything else?
I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, Constantine.
Look out for yourself.
Good day, Lady Morange. Do you remember me?
Of course! Lady de Sardet, isn't it? I hope that you and your cousin have grown to like it here. But I have little reason to believe you have paid me a visit to exchange civilities. Can I be of service?
What can you tell me about New Serene?
It's a new city whose construction began not long ago. When I arrived 5 years ago, there was just a port, a fence, and some huts here. The businesses, the barracks of the guard, the palace, and all of the houses sort of sprung up from the ground. To see how impressive it is today, even if it is still far from its majestic mother, is incredible. Of course, with such expanse, all kinds of bandits, drunkards, and other lowlife have arrived. But I'm very proud of it, in spite of everything. I hope that your cousin continues this work.
What do you know about this island?
Much less than I would like. The land is still wild and extremely rich. Its soils are full of minerals, some of which are unknown to us. With regard to the flora and fauna, you've probably seen how different the creatures and plants are here. The islanders protect their land fiercely, and we cannot begrudge them that. When you see what we have done with our own, well, such a source of richness attracts greed.
You seem interested in the islanders.
As a matter of fact, I find their culture fascinating, but I can't say I know much about them. They are quite secretive and protect their cult and traditions from the curiosity of strangers. I know that their sages, they call them Donegada, are the guardians of their rituals as well as of the island. They have very strong links with nature and the creatures that inhabit it. They're also good healers. I could talk about them for hours, but you will learn more from the islanders themselves.
What can you tell me about the relations we have with other nations?
We play a difficult role, caught between these two enemy nations who are nonetheless our allies. The smallest action could tip the balance and draw us into their conflict. If I may offer some advice, be very careful. We do not want a war to break out here.
What do you know about the ruins found to the northwest of here?
The site that the natives call Didakidnadagase.
That is not how we pronounce it, but yes, we are speaking of the same place.
Your language is difficult to master, but I find it fascinating. To answer your question, I had countless questions about the place when our explorers and scouts first brought back sketches. Intrigued, I went there. I noted the architecture and their decorations. It is certain that they bear a striking resemblance with continental constructions, but they are more ancient. Too old to have been recently built by the Bridge Alliance settlers when they first set foot on the island. I even questioned the natives, but they only spoke of a people of the sea. My first thoughts went to the Nauts, but they're not known for building large towns, less so cities. There are other ruins on a cliff to the east of here. Perhaps they hide the key to this mystery. I hoped to organize an expedition, but the region is dangerous and hard of access. We explored mines at the bottom of the cliff, but we were not able to find an access to the plateau. If the mystery of these ruins intrigues you as much as me, it is in that direction that you should begin to look for answers. Can I help you with any other matter?
My lady, I have to go. Goodbye.
Onol Manawi. I must do, so will you accompany?
Maybe later.
I understand. Anything else?
The first time you saw me, did you really think I was a native?
Aside from the way you dress, you resemble a native. I have never seen an Onol Manawi amongst the Renaigse before. Is it so surprising that I made this mistake?
No, I understand. And I hope that this singular appearance makes me more attractive to you.
Perhaps if your difference wasn't merely physical, but your heart is evidently the heart of a Renaigse. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Desarde, I have a favor to ask.
Very well, I'm listening.
Do you remember the story of Jonah?
Of course.
Well, I'm like him. A donation to the sea. My family also gave me to the Nauts. I don't know anything about my real family, except that they are probably affluent and from the congregation. When I was born, the Nauts and the merchant princes had a complex relationship. I must have been used to settle a debt or forge a truce, but that doesn't matter. The mystery of my origins has now become an obsession. I need to know where I come from. If I were patient enough, I'd wait to become a fleet commander, and then I would be told. But since being laid off, such a promotion seems somewhat improbable.
And you want me to help you find this information?
You understand correctly. The records of all seamen stationed on the island are in their respective ports. Mine must be in the harbor office in New Serene, and it must contain my family name. But if I go there, I'd be spotted right away. Could you go there and bring the file to me?
Of course. But you'll have to come with me to the port and tell me a little more.
Right. Also, I don't want any Naughts to be hurt in the process. Despite my desire to know my origins, the Naughts are still my family.
Don't worry. We'll be discreet.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine for the continent. Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine for the continent.
Your Excellency, it is an honor.
Your Excellency.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine.
You'll find all you need in our selection. Whatever you need to be the talk of all Serene. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see. Have you seen any?
So, did they take the bait?
No, not yet. It's strange. Usually they pass by regularly. But I have to admit, I'm afraid, Your Excellency. If you're not here when they return to look for me, I am lost.
Don't worry, I'll be around.
Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Here we are. We have a good view from here. The harbor office is well guarded, both outside and inside. Getting through the main entrance is impossible.
There must be a blind spot. There's always one.
You could dress as a knot and go through the back door, but someone may recognize you inside.
I'll need to be much more discreet. A potion could help me.
That is an option, yes, but since I'd rather avoid hurting any knots, I made some inquiries. The harbor office has an arrangement with Dieter from the brothel. Girls come every night with wine.
I see. You want us to spike the wine so that they sleep during our search?
It's a proven technique, and I can assure you they do not sniff the wine before drinking it.
Right. Let's get a sleeping potion. Then we'll go see Dieter.
Good day, milady.
Desardet. I'm the emissary of the congregation on Tir Fredi.
And cousin to the governor. I know exactly who you are. Enchanted. I am Admiral Cabral, and I see that you're accompanied by one of our own. Hardy winds, Vasco.
Hardy winds, Admiral.
You are still angry with me for keeping you ashore, are you not? You'll one day thank me for it, but I don't suppose you've come to talk to me about affectations. What can I do for you?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral.